culture goes hand in hand with tribalism, and this shows us that despite our great technological advancements and internet culture, we are nothing but animals. In this essay, I will... Hi friends, hi. My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. And I am keeping my glasses on because I totally want to look smarter than I am, and not because my eyeshadow is poorly blended and I want to hide that. Not the second thing at all. I want to talk about stan culture and how stan culture is essentially internet tribalism. Have you ever wondered, why are Jeffree Star fans so rabid? Why are they so crazy loyal? Why would they go to war for him? Why are people that are stans of Jaclyn Hill so loyal to her despite her so many fuck-ups? Why do people tend to pile onto someone who they think has gone against their faves? Well, let me present to you science, or social science. Now, I'm no social scientist. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm just someone with a degree in Wikipedia. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt. It's not gospel, it's just commentary. And with that said, let's get started. And let's get started by defining the term that I used before, and that is tribalism. Quote Wikipedia. Tribalism is the state of being organized by or advocating for tribes or tribal lifestyle. In popular culture, tribalism may also refer to a way of thinking or behavior in which people are loyal to their social group above all else, or derogatorily, a type of discrimination or animosity based upon group differences. We are, of course, going to focus on the second part of the definition, that is the appurtenance to a group and the fact that people identify so much with the group and congregate around one single point of focus. In this case, the beauty influencer, or the influencer, whatever domain they are, or the YouTuber, PewDiePie, Onision, whoever else you want that has been a total shit stain yet still has a loyal fan base. Why does that happen? Humans have been social animals ever since our conception. Whether you think that we sprung from the Garden of Eden and then were cast down, or if you think we come from monkeys, there is no denying that people are social creatures. We tend to gather around similar people, we tend to form groups for any types of reason. And before, groups were created for protection. The more you were, the less likely you were to get eaten by a saber-tooth. Nowadays, with the advent of modern civilization and such a wonderful thing called internet, we still group around each other. And that is what causes stan culture. In this case, the group merges around a focal point, and that is the influencer, Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, whomever. Tribalism in general is oriented around several factors. One of them could be around analogy, so you are like I am and he is like us, therefore we form a tribe, a group. Or genealogy, familial tribes. You are my sister from my mother's side, therefore I am loyal to you and I am loyal to the rest of our family. You are my cousin, thrice, quadruple, thrice removed, yet I am loyal to you because we have the same blood. Then there's also tribalism based upon mythology, where the tribe is spearheaded by a figure, a leader figure, be it mythological or real. So, for example, people that have the same religion. In this case of the influencer stan, I would say that it's a bit of 1 and 2. So a bit of analogy, we both like the same person, and a lot of 3, mythology, where the stans build up the mythos of the person they like in their head. The mythos of Jeffree Star, for example. They don't know that person and that person can do no wrong, so they start having a worshipful attitude. Moreover, they tend to protect their idol, come to attack anyone that promotes false idols, other influencers that would stand against Jeffree Star. Basically, the stan, and not a regular fan, just the stan sees the person, the object of their admiration, as the leader of their tribe. And so what the leader says, that goes. The attitude that the leader has is the most prized in the eyes of the stan. So if you've got a person that is very vitriolic and sassy and mean, of course the stan is going to want to emulate what the leader does, aka be sassy, mean, and just a shit stain. Moreover, the analogy part. I mentioned earlier that tribalism is deeply rooted in analogy. I am like you, she is like us, he is like us as well, let's just get together in a happy group. The problem with analogy is that analogy begets conformity. You may have noticed that stans are very quick to turn against each other. The moment you say something that is not agreed upon in the group, you're fucked over. And that is because in a tribalism mentality, it's us versus them. You are either part of the tribe and you agree with what the other stans say, or you are not part of them. And this not part of them thing can come so easily from a simple disagreement, or you not liking a release, or just saying, I think this shade performed bad. It is that easy. It's that slight showcase of you not 100% conforming that can get you ousted from the group that you were in, and have other stans attack you as if you were someone that wasn't in their group at all. From Wikipedia still, tribalism implies the possession of a strong cultural or ethnic identity that separates one member of a group from members of other groups. Based on that, members of a tribe find a strong feeling of identity. So the problem with stan culture on the internet is that, as I said, they try to emulate the leader, and they also try to emulate each other, leading to conformity. The problem is that in this conformity, lots of stans find their identity. And instead of identifying with their own personal choices and their own real life, they start to identify with whom they admire and what they buy. This mentality of, I am who I am because I buy Jeffree Star, or I buy Kat Von D, or I buy Colourpop, or I buy Nabla, or I buy Urban Decay is very dangerous, because it puts your identity on material things and brands and corporations as opposed to who you are as a human being in your essence. It also forces you as part of the tribe to keep supporting those releases, to lie to yourself that you like XYZ even though deep inside of yourself you may not. And it also forces you to keep that opinion, keep that loyalty, because otherwise you'll be ousted for the group, and it's unpleasant for anyone from any type of group to have to give up the relationships that they formed just on basis of a disagreement. And you would argue, Mia, but we're all adults, or mostly adults, or whatever, kids, but surely nobody would ditch their friends based on a disagreement, right? That's where you're wrong. You should take a look at Twitter during the Great Norvina Wars, where there were the Norvina stans against people that dared criticize Norvina. Friendships were broken. Arguments were fought. Wigs were snatched and people were dragged. You base your personal identity so much on how much you love a certain influencers, how much you love a certain brand. The moment that anybody criticizes those is seen as a personal attack to you and your identity. And many people, adults, old people, like grown-ass men and women, cannot separate someone's opinion from their identity, and cannot separate someone's opinion on a certain thing that they do with someone's opinion on who they are entirely as a person. So you can see people that say, I don't like Jeffree Star, and Jeffree Star fans just insulting them and being vitriolic and just being very combative, because saying, I don't like Jeffree Star to a Jeffree Star stan is like saying, I don't like you because you happen to like that. For many, many, many millennia, tribalism helped us stay together, form relationships, and survive. It helped us to thrive. But in this age of shallow attachments and parasocial relationships, it's just helped us get divided over the most inconsequential crap. Tribalism in the age of social media results in hive minds, groupthink. You're either part of the group or you're the enemy. It leads discussion that would be purely opinion-based into personal attack ad hominems and sometimes even ad Hitlerums. And people love staying loyal. They love staying loyal to such controversial figureheads like Jeffree Star, like Jaclyn Hill, and others, because people love a rising from the ashes story. It is much easier to accept the narrative that your fave will rise from the ashes and come back better than ever than to accept the fact that they're a fallible human being. It is harder to accept the fact that they fucked up. It is harder to accept the fact that you might need to rethink the group identity you found for yourself. It's hard to accept that you invested so many feelings, so much support, so much time into a person that fell from grace and probably, objectively speaking, isn't getting back up. It's easier for people like Jeffree Star and Jaclyn Hill to bounce back from scandals because people love a coming back story. They have amassed very loyal fan bases, and as I said, it's hard to shed the identity of being a fan of someone if you're a stan. Therefore, when people attack the Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, I know I keep saying them as examples, but they're the best to exemplify that. When people keep attacking them, the stan feels it's a personal attack because they invested their time, they invested their energy, they invested their feelings into that person, and that person will come back because if they're not worth it of all of that effort, that hurts the most. There you have it. I hope I expressed myself coherently enough to explain what I wanted to explain, and that is, I'm just going to, draw the conclusions like in an essay. I feel like I'm back in college, something that I would like to never relive ever again. Anyway, conclusions. Tribalism has been around since the dawn of the age of man. But now, with parasocial relationships and the internet, we are starting to form tribes around people, influencers, that become more myth than person. Moreover, people have great loyalty and base their identity on being part of the fandom of that person. They will stay near them and they will keep them dear to them despite a fall from grace, because everybody likes to root for the underdog and everybody likes a rising from the ashes kind of story. It is easier to think that someone will do better and prove themselves again worthy of your love than to admit that they were not so in the first place. Tribalism and groupthink is also the cause of such vicious stan wars. Because in groupthink, you are either with us or against us. In tribalism, in stan tribalism in particular, you are either a fan or you're the enemy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was interesting or useful to you in any way. No citations for me, it's Wikipedia, and the rest I just extrapolated. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you the next time. Bye! Come on, Lucky, say bye. No? Okay. Bye, everyone!